Welcome to the Raider Corner, and I'm your host, Eric Johnson. Glad to have you on board as we simulcast live on Clear 101 KLIR, and we are in podcast form for your viewing pleasure. Just view cccneb.edu. I hear Raider Green looks good on the internet, and of course, we love to hear about basketball, and joining me at this time is Coach Francis. Coach, like I said, we look good in Raider green. I don't know about you, but it's time to start decking out the Raider colors. It's basketball season, my friend. How you doing?
We're here. I'm doing great, Eric. How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. I'm excited to talk to you about. I know it's kind of the preseason type of stuff, but conference play coming up right around the corner here. But I wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit. Basketball season. You got a stacked roster. I wanted to first off talk about the boys and talk about the team here. How's everybody vibing so far?
No, it's been good. I think it's a pretty brand new roster, to be completely honest. We returned 3 guys from last year's team, and 2 of which, one redshirted for me, so is coming in with, I wouldn't say no experience, but no game experience. Obviously practiced it, all that kind of stuff with us. That's Kimmy Jones from Minneapolis. And then Malawal Kong from Omaha Gross. He played 8 games and then unfortunately had an injury that put him out for the rest of the season last year. So he's coming in with minimal experience. And then Mithka Torrance, the one returning sophomore that I have on the roster, is from Oklahoma, and he's the one that actually brings a full season of college experience with us. From there, it's a bunch of true freshmen. We have 13 here on campus, so 10 that are just true freshmen new to the college basketball scene. I think there's a lot of learning that went on in August and September, and I tell people you got to learn quick, and there's no better way to learn by just jumping into it and getting after, jumping in the fire, and hey, let's go. And I think they've done a great job adapting. Again, it's all new, and for the majority of them, like I said, and not necessarily the game of basketball, but the style of play. The college game just is always a little bit quicker, and you're going to have getting to know your teammates and how they play and just getting used to each other. And I think it's been good. We went through, so our official practices started in October. Before that, we're allowed like a shortened amount of hours, and I think I used some of that time to really just start practices early, essentially, to just knowing we had a new group. And a lot of October, unfortunately, we weren't at full strength, whether it be ankle injuries, whether it be some other things that were going on just as far as an injury standpoint. We didn't have, I think, our full roster practicing the entire month of October, which, again, you think it sets you back a little bit, but more so it's just as like individuals. Like, it's nice to, right now we feel like we're at, for the most part, full strength, still waiting on one to get it back, but we've made leaps and bounds from where we were when we entered the first workouts and semi-practices in September. I think where we are now, I think we've made great stride. And it's kudos to the guys and buying into what we're trying to do, and there's still a lot of room to grow. But 8 games in right now, I'd say we're not exactly where we want to be, but you don't want to be the best team that you can be here early in November. You want to save that for March. So we're steadily making progress, and I think the approach the guys have taken every day has been, again, we're heading in the right direction.
And with the conference and all that, I wanted to ask you this too. Not only the boys, but yourself. Are you guys? How do you get the boys prepared for kind of a new window, a new opportunity? Of course, lots of very talented ranked teams in the mix. What's the game plan for you guys?
No, I think what I did, even just with a scheduling standpoint, and that includes our scrimmages and the jamborees that we went to in October, is I wanted us to be prepared for the conference schedule through our preseason. So I didn't go out there thinking, hey, we need to schedule some really early games, get some wins under our belt. Like, I wanted to get tested early. And so scheduling teams like Johnson County, who are the number 5 team in the country right now, going home and home with them. We traveled up to North Dakota to play North Dakota State College of Science, who's Division I junior college, and then Botno, who's a very talented team who makes a push to try to make it to the national tournament in their region every single year. We went over to Fort Dodge and we played Marshalltown, who's in the ICCAC, but they're a Division I junior college team as well. And then North Central Missouri, who started the season in the top 10. So I wanted to get challenged early, really just to expose our guys to the level of play that we're going to see throughout the entire conference season. So sitting at 4-4 right now, Again, not exactly where we want to be. Again, obviously we want to win every single game, but I think we're battle tested to the point we're prepared for what the conference schedule is going to bring. We still have one more non-conference game here tomorrow on Friday against Highland, who's coming in with just one loss. They had their one loss of the season so far last night against Iowa Western, but obviously have had some success up to this point. I believe they're now 6-1. So we've been tested, and that's, I think, what I wanted to do for this new roster is really just expose them early, and that way we're prepared when it comes conference time, and that starts next week. So
do you think the team read in like, okay, I think, are they receptive to it? Are they hesitant? I mean, what was the general consensus coming in after the 8 games in the preseason?
Well, I think some of it was just the complete unknown, right? Like They know they're here playing college basketball, right? And we were tested enough in our scrimmages that we played, but once November hits and it's go time, these are now counting wins as losses. I think some of it, there's some good and some bad to it. It's like you don't really know what you're getting into, but you also go in with a little bit of fearlessness, like, hey, let's just dive in, let's compete and see where we're at. And that's kind of how I approached it with them. Like I let them know, like, hey, there's not going to be, we don't have these just stepping stone games where we're going to walk in and say, hey, we're going to win. Like we started off with Doan's JV team, but what I tell guys is they just prevent different challenges than what the junior college teams do. Typically, they run out a little bit more shooters. They might throw some different type of defenses at you. And it's not, you don't approach any of those games. It's just like, hey, we're coming in, we're going to beat them by 40 and walk out of there. Like you still have to prepare. And a lot of it might just be working on us and what we need to be really, really good at going into those situations, but there's still challenges. And I think that's something that this group, again, now that we've had that experience, we've done the scouting report thing, we've had to cover some really talented teams through those scouting reports. I think we're going to be prepared for what the conference is going to throw at us, though it's, like I said, it's not a walk in the park by any means. It's having the experience that I've had as an assistant in the league. And we played a lot of these teams in the non-conference last year. There's some familiarity there, and just knowing what it's going to take every night to, regardless of who you play in the conference, ranked, not ranked, where the record is coming in, every conference game is going to be tough and it's going to be a battle. So I think the guys have been accepted to it, and I think they take it as a challenge. And that's the biggest thing is I got a group of competitors, guys that want to go out and compete every day. So that really helps.
Talking here with Coach Francis. It's men's basketball here on the Raider Corner. And, Coach, getting them immersed into conference play. For you, I mean, you've had the experience taking a look at your schedule. Obviously, you're familiar with a lot of these schools. What schools on your schedule stand out for you as, all right, this is going to be a challenge? Or what school is going to be like, this is going to be like a breaking point, this is going to be like a game changer for us?
Right. And it's funny because you try to tell your teams, right? Like you don't circle just one opponent, right? It's whoever's next, right? Whoever's the next team in line, that's the team that you want to have circled, right? But I think one, just personally for me, having coached Kirkwood Community College, they won the national title last year, but I was an assistant there for 5 years. That's always going to be a fun one. I didn't play them last year. So actually competing against the head coach who gave me my opportunity to get into college coaching will be pretty fun. And we get to go there the second week of conference. So fresh out of Thanksgiving, we play at DMAC, who's currently, I believe, somewhere in the top 5, and then Kirkwood's sitting there at number 2. So that week will be a good one for us. Northeast is always going to be a fun one just because it's the in-state rivalry. They're 45 minutes up the road, so that'll be fun. But really, I don't think there's a game on the schedule that we're ever going to look past because the conference is that tough. But those are just a couple of them that, again, I could go on and on about each program and where I think they're going to have success and how they can challenge us in a lot of different ways. But like I said, Kirkwood's really the one that I am interested and excited to go and play back in Cedar Rapids in the gym that I coached in for so many years and see so many people. But again, Iowa Lakes is the first one for the conference, and then we got Highland tomorrow. Let's try to stay very one step at a time with it as much as we can.
I love the typical coach speak. That is awesome. One game at a time. We got a few seconds here on the clock. Talk about Highland Community College coming up at the time of this recording will be tomorrow, Friday. What's keys to victory?
I think the defensive end is going to be a big thing for us. And that's something that we preach all year. They have 3 really talented scorers, like 3 guys that do the bulk of the scoring for them, and our ability to slow them down. But then also on our end, we've had a couple games in a row here where we've struggled to put the ball in the hole, and getting back to just how we want to run offense. But defensively, I think is where we want to hang our hat. And if we can get stops on defense and force contested shots, rebound that first miss, and then get out and run, we kind of let our defense create the offense for us. And that's kind of how we want to play. That's the style of play that I think this group and how we've been training to play. And we need to get back to that a little bit. So if we can do that, I think we'll have a lot of success tomorrow night.
Coach, I appreciate the time. Of course, if parents and whatnot are listening in and their kid wants to play basketball, how do they get a hold of you, and whereabouts can they meet you guys up to talk a little basketball for the future?
No, I think if you can go to the website, my email's on the website under my profile as well as my phone number. I think that's the best way to do it is reach out. I'm obviously very active in the recruiting scene already, just keeping track of kids, and we've already been in contact with quite a few. My assistants are both on the website as well. Reaching out to them is also the best way to do it, just very direct and to the point of it. And I think just starting communication either way they see fit, whether it be a call, a text, an email, doing that reach out's the big part of it, and putting yourselves out there and giving me as much information or my staff as much information as you can in those first couple of conversations, I think will help us go a long way. So.
Well, Coach, congrats on everything, getting into conference play. Good luck. I know we'll cross paths here soon, and happy holidays. We'll get back into the swing of things in December. So until then, I appreciate the time, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Eric.
All right. For Coach Francis, I'm Eric Johnson saying so long for now. And, of course, go Raiders.